What are you doing over there, Joey?
Just looking at your book. I've been reading that book lately, and it's messing with my head.
Which one?
I even talked about on the podcast, The War of Art.
Oh, yeah. It's
about resistance. So now I catch myself. Every time I want to do something, I catch myself. I've been practicing to look at the resistance levels that comes up. Like different things I need to do. I want to see what excuse I give myself.
Yeah. It's a normal thing, right?
Normal.
Mr. Galazzi.
Hey, how are you?
Brother? Very nice to meet you, man.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming on here, man. I hear fantastic things about you from Joey, from other people. So Joey insisted. He's like, you got to get this guy in here, dog.
Thank you.
He's a fucking wizard. What he did for my shoulders. What did he do for your shoulders?
You know, I've been going to Alberto, and Alberto
Cranes
is the man in Burbank for tactical fitness.
Right.
They do it in the mornings and the afternoon, but the one kid, Coach Robert, you know, he would just, after class, he would say, Joey, what are you going to do? You going to go home or you want to do this for a little while? And at first, the first 2 weeks, the movements were difficult. But then, you know, level one stuff, man. Any age could do it if I could do it. Just laying on the back, lifting your hips and spinning over on your toes and doing it back. And at first, I couldn't even, look, Joe, I couldn't move my elbows like that. Nothing, my shoulders, my wrists. And I kept staying for the 30-minute thing. 5 exercises, 3 minutes apiece. That's it. No drama. You could be big, heavy. It's all stuff I could do. Picking up your leg, putting it under.
All body weight stuff?
All body weight stuff that I can handle. If I can handle it on my wrist being 300 pounds, anybody can handle it. Simple stuff. And one day I was getting caught and like the guy was pulling me into his guard, and magically my hips flew up, and I just mysteriously got into side control. And something made me look up, and Alberto Crane's jaw dropped. And he goes, that's from doing that stuff. You couldn't do that when you walked in here. But I kept going to these 30-minute things. 30 minutes, 5 exercises, 3 minutes. You're out of there at 1:45.
So is this do you have like a system that you bring to a bunch of different places and you have affiliates? Is that how it works?
I mean, I'm
pull this right up to you.
All right, sorry. It's first time for me.
You never done a podcast before?
No, never. It's first
well,
time.
you speak fantastic English for someone who's from Italy.
Right, thanks. I believe I lived there years ago. Yeah.
Oh.
I got the call. I got married years ago.
Oh.
So then I spent some time working.
Be careful. Trump might kick you out now. You got to be super careful.
No, I already been out.
You already been out?
Back in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm representing this system, right, that is being developed by Scott Sonnen. Okay.
Oh, Scott Sonnen. So it's like club bells, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, Club bells, CST. We meet each other a long time ago in '94, and then I was doing security contractor work. That was my line of business at the time. I've always been involved in training, martial arts, and any kind of such a training. And all the injury that I got from competing and normal weightlifting, and I've been lost contact with him for a few years, and then I saw him in 2000 coming out with the clubbers. The clubbers really attract me. It was different tools, and I say, okay, I want to get back in contact with these guys. I want to understand how can the things can help me. So I went back to him, and it blew my mind. Helped me to get back in the best shape of my life. I feel now I'm 47. I feel I can move better, do things better than I used to do it when I was 20. So I promised him, I'm gonna make these things happen in Europe. You're my coach. You change my way to say fitness, and I'm gonna do that. So between my job and security, I was introducing this to my teams, and then I see changing on people being able even to go moving easier, and then transfer to whatever it was our training and handgun or whatever skills and stuff. Everything was easier. So I start to believe basically, and I start to say, okay, I want to help more people that I can. Okay, in my line of duty, in the army, because I still have a different contract as a consultant in the army back home, as a physical trainer, and sometimes also end-to-end combat training. And I start to introduce these things from basic, right? Because the system is very complex, as what Joe was talking about is all the mobility.
Yeah, mobility is a big factor. It's a big factor because for so long people have just been concentrating on getting strong or getting in great shape. But I know people that are in fantastic shape. They can run forever, but they can barely touch their toes. And you develop these bodies that are severely limited in the amount of motion that you can actually get out of your body. In certain motions, you're really good. You know, you might be explosive with a bench press. You might have a great run. But whatever else you're doing to your body, you're compromising all of your overall mobility. So over the last few years, there's been a tremendous amount of concentration and effort by a bunch of different trainers. Kelly Starrett, he's done a lot. Kelly's done a lot of work in his book, Becoming a Supple Leopard, an excellent book on that. And Kelly has a great Instagram you can follow too. And what he's done is he's done an amazing job in highlighting mobility and how important mobility and just having a full range of motion, which seems so simple. But it's not something that most people really concentrate on. Most people are concentrating on getting stronger, more deadlift, more bench press, more this, more that. But you're compromising all these different areas of your body.
Absolutely agree with you. That's from Kelly Starrett, right?
Yes,
the ball, yeah.
Yes, his ball.
The
That's that ball right there is the. It's one of those. I think he calls it the WOD Supernova.
Yeah, Supernova.
Yeah,
I got that one too. It's fantastic. You know? And it seems like nothing, but when you roll around, you find the spot. You can release tension on your fascia.
Yeah, I put that on the ground and I do like bridges on it. I lie on my back on it and I put all my weight on that ball. For people just listening, it's a rubber ball that's like the size of a softball. And it's really hard, and it's got like this textured outer surface. And Kelly developed this to help. He also uses lacrosse balls. That's what he started out with. But I think that's a little bit better than a lacrosse ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
I take one of those everywhere with me on the road. Yeah. Every time I go in a hotel room, that goes in my bag, period. Like there's no, because if I work out and I get stiff, if I got something locked up, I need that fucking thing. Yeah.
That's what I have too in my bag because all the traveling flight. Every time I get off from some flight, my
stiff.
Infraspinatus, my neck, my lower back have the same problem. You know, so I find that those things fantastic. Yeah, like you were saying, Joe, what is the problem? What were the things? Years ago, to take to a unit, like my community, you know, working with the army or stuff like that, they say, oh, we're going to do mobility. They will look at you like, do we really need that? You know, the old tough guy, you know, they need to be, you know, they're all thinking about, I need something to get myself stronger, faster. Yeah, but they don't get it. They don't get it if you don't allow yourself to regain the mobility they used to have. At one point, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be reaching plateau. You're going to get injury, and you're going to lose those guys in the field. That was my point.
Right.
And I think the system that Scott created was smart enough to say, you know what? I'm going to introduce this slowly underneath because I give you the small amount of mobility, then what you want. When you want an high-intensity workout. Okay, so I give you that high-intensity workout. That's TAC high-intensity. But I'm going to teach you how to recover for the performance faster. And then I introduce a little bit of yoga. So you're going to feel better, loosen up when you leave in. And day by day, those guys, they start to understand. And they start to tell me, you know what, we like the workout, but what we think we need is to be able to move the shoulder again, to be able to, you know, carry a backpack again. And now everybody wants to do mobility more than workout because you can kill yourself in a workout. You don't need me to kill you. You know, you just throw the days and decide a little bit of bar pull, a little bit of push up, and that you don't need really someone to drive you.
Yeah, people are understanding now that it's a huge deal, and yoga is huge for me. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, I still use that Supernova ball, but man. Yoga's had a tremendous effect on my back. It's had a tremendous effect on everything. My overall flexibility is better than it's been in a long time since I was a kid. And I just feel better. Just feels like everything moves better. You know, but you say yoga to people, and they go, you fucking pussy. How come you're out there doing deadlifts? You need to do fucking hill sprints. You know, everybody wants to do something that looks like tough guy stuff, that looks awesome on your Instagram. You know, everybody wants to do deadlifts with fucking 450. But the reality is, if your body has any weak links, yoga will find those links.
You're going to show it.
Yeah, it'll show it right away. I was shocked. Like, you know what the big one for me was? My feet. Mm-hmm. And this is something that Nick Curson said as well. Nick Curson, who's a really well-respected strength and conditioning coach, Speed of Sport down in, I think he's in Huntington Beach, somewhere in Orange County. But he trains Joe Schilling, Rafael Dos Anjos, Fabricio Verdum, big-time MMA fighters and kickboxers, and works with Aaron Pico, who's a top-level wrestler, and just a long line of like real high-level combat sports athletes. I asked him, I go, what do you think that the one thing that a lot of athletes have that is something they need to improve on? He said, feet strength. Nobody says that. Nobody says that.
True.
Everybody's like,
So
work
true.
on your cardio, work on your explosiveness. You got to be able to, fucking throw more kettlebells around. He was like, your feet. Like, think about it. Your motion. Like, if you can't move out of the way or towards your opponent, you're useless, right? If your foot's broken in a fight, you're severely limited. And one of the things that I found out almost instantly when I started doing yoga and when I started skiing, my fucking feet would be killing me. In the beginning, skiing was because my boots were too small because I have really wide feet, and so my feet would be smashed in there, and it sucked. And I was like, well, fuck skiing. I can't do it. My feet are too wide. And then I got boots that are made for wider feet, and they fit, but my feet would still hurt after a while. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my goddamn feet? Maybe it's just because my feet are flat, and I'm just going to have to deal with that. No. As soon as I started doing yoga, now I can ski all day. Doesn't bother me at all. As long as I'm doing yoga twice a week, all that foot problems are gone. They're out the window because of the balance.
It's pretty funny because I was watching your flow video the other night before I came on because I didn't have – I wanted to be able to, contribute in this conversation. You guys are two-level geniuses for me. So if you watch his flow video, the first thing he put on some shoes with toes in them, and you're talking about the feet. That before you do anything, he started stretching his feet, and I could see him playing with his toes, and I'm like, I guess this is the...
I think it's what he was saying.
I hate to keep saying this, but this has got to be like, just pull it around
pull it
towards
around to
it.
me.
Yeah, right there.
you
You'll
go.
be great.
It's the real thing, everybody don't think about it because we stand on our feet, so we think we're connected to the earth. We are not. We just, it's like I post this one on the table, but it's not connected. It moves around, but it has no control. Right. Rebuilding the capability to grabbing the ground, understanding the stability of the foot, the mobility of the toes, and the ankle mobility is mandatory because I'm going to transfer power through my feet engagement to the ground, to my leg drive, to my hips, and to my core. So everything comes from the earth.
These shoes make everybody look gay.
Yeah, man.
There's no way around it.
Those shoes,
I love them.
They're very functional, but they're not sexy at all. I can tell you. I will never get married with those. For sure.
Well, I always know the real weirdos when I catch them out at night and they're wearing them. If you catch a guy like at a bar and he's wearing those shoes, that's a real weirdo. But there's people that do wear those. Is that your gym? What gym is that?
That's my XXL gym. Yeah, it's the gym that I'm dealing with, working with in Europe. That's my headquarters, let's say, in Europe. So it's my gym.
So this is all what we're looking at here. What's the name of this video, Jamie?
Flow Fit, yeah.
Flow Fit, Tactic, Flow Fit, Alberto Galazzi, Vibram, 5 Fingers.
Exactly.
So you sponsored by Vibram, or you just?
I'm an ambassador for them.
And that's a very low-profile one. It has a very small amount of tread at the bottom of it, right? It's very thin, the one that you've got on.
Yeah, because they're different type.
Some of them are for trail running. They're a little thicker.
Running things,
Yeah.
I try to work with them to realize something specifically for flow because sometimes when they have some rubber on the side, and for some specific flow, especially if you want to focus on your knee, understanding how my knee and my hips work, they get too much friction. So
why do you use that instead of barefoot?
I alternate it. Like
you
I
alternate?
Said, I alternate it. If I want to really go freestyle, move around, I go freestyle. I go barefoot. There's no traction. But but it's if I train like I do sometime in the concrete, I need something to really protect my foot.
Right. Yeah, and dirt and rocks and stuff like that.
Years ago, you told me one of your biggest fears was getting old and feeling weak. And then you and I traveled a lot together. A lot of places we would go to jiu-jitsu places, and we'd see the jiu-jitsu guy, the main guy, and he'd be walking a little funny.
They're all fucked up.
Or he'd be, and that always stuck out in my mind. Like, why love something so much if in my 60s I'm going to be limping or walking different? And I think this will help that, as you
It'll
get older.
It'll definitely help that.
Really?
I think, that's one of the reasons why Eddie's gotten so into yoga, too. Eddie's doing yoga 3 times a week now. And he realizes it after he had back surgery. When people get older in particular, you start realizing the limitations of some of the things that you're doing. You're putting tremendous stress on your body in very specific areas, especially jiu-jitsu. Right. You're attacking the joints all the time. You're attacking the joints, you're attacking your neck. And almost everybody that I know either has a back problem or some sort of a knee problem or a neck problem. It's just a constant issue when it comes to jiu-jitsu. And I feel like the only way to mitigate that is, first of all, roll with people that you know. Like people that they're good people. They're not going to try to hurt you. They're not crazy. It's not even their fault. But young people in particular, like you get like some young 20-year-old kid who's all full of fucking just cum and just some little animal. they want to kill. They want to kill. Like a young guy, when they roll fucking full clip, and you could get a knee caught in a scramble and it gets ripped apart. It's just super common. So you got to be real careful the kind of people you work out with. Make sure that people aren't going to yank on an arm bar or a knee bar or a heel hook or something like that. That's big. But also I think that improving your mobility, like there's so many times I would go to class and I would be stiff before I walked in the door. Like before I walked in the door, my back would be fucked up. I'd get up in the morning, my back would be fucked up. I'd be like, I'd just be stiff. And then I'd get in there and start warming up. But jiu-jitsu is so fun. As soon as you get in there, you just do a little few movements, you start
cortisol coming in,
yeah.
you get, it's an anti-inflammatory, so you're ready to go.
Next thing you know, you're like, all right, you slap hands and you fucking go into war again. And then you got a worse back, and then you got a worse knee. That's how I fucked up my back. I didn't just fuck it up in one thing. If I had that one incident that it got injured in, I could have eventually healed it. What I did was I just kept doing it. Even when I was still hurt, I would I'll just go light. I never went light. You still go back in there and go hard again, and then fucks it up more. I think that we have to be super aware that our body is a precious resource, and you got to treat it almost scientifically instead of looking at it like, guys like to do curls and bench presses. I mean, how many times have you seen that where you see a guy with a meatball upper body with a little toothpick at the bottom that's holding him up with his legs? Like you see there's certain guys you see at the gym and you go, you poor bastard, like what are you doing to yourself? Like you think everything looks good because you got these big biceps and big chest, but your lower body is virtually useless, because they don't lift. They don't lift with their lower body. They don't do anything with it. You got to treat your body like it's a big old science project. Right. You have to look at it scientifically.
When people ask me, what do you think, what I think, what is the project? I don't know, I'm not going to train you. I'm thinking always that everybody of us, we know what is our point B. So if I ask you, when you come to the gym, what is your goal? Most of especially young people, they know I know what is my point B. I want to become faster, stronger, leaner, whatever.
You're saying point B?
Point B, yeah.
Point B, right. Point A to point B.
Yeah, we don't really know what is our point A. We think we know, but we don't know. We don't know what's going on inside. We don't know about our hormone tracker. About estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, whatever. We don't know exactly how the fascia is mixed up with us or the joints. If we don't think about that, we're never going to reach point B, or probably we're going to reach it, but going zigzag instead to go straight line, and we're going to face injury, plateau, go back to the losing power, imbalances. So
that's why I think
very difficult,
something like yoga is very important because
Absolutely.
it highlights those imbalances.
Absolutely.
And it seems like this kind of particular motion, like your flow, like that up there, that would also highlight those particular motions.
I see flow, like for me at the beginning of everything. Why? Because you go through a little bit of joint mobility and then you start to connect the exercise logically and connect it to what? Challenge your breathing. So also your breathing will tell you exactly when you're forcing your breathing through some of the movement, you should start to understand and investigate why do I force through this range of motion. Probably something is stiff for me. It might be my joint, might be my fascia, whatever. It does allow me to flow through one movement to the other movement because I'm working 6 degrees. I don't just work in a yoga mat, up and down, left and right. I just try to roll, jump, squat, whatever it is my body supposed to be doing. And I look like if you know the Magic Eyes picture. For me, the Magic Eye picture, the one that you look and then you step back and then
Magic
you see,
Eye pictures,
right?
yeah.
For me, it's the body. When I see you standing or do a couple of movements, I can interpret it yourself a little bit. But when you move freestyle, now I can understand exactly what's going on with you. Do you drop your knee when you're squatting? Do your feet is not connected? You cannot torque your knee when you cannot even understand loading one side, unilateral power, to one leg to the other. So for me, it's all information that's, for me as a coach, okay, I start to plan out what should be doing, what kind of exercise, what kind of strength training maybe is needed for you, more stability or more yoga. Because until you are not ready, I will not let you lift or load your body if your body is not even able to hold in your own weight.
Well, that's the thing. Most people don't know what their body's capable of doing. And there's a lot of people that walk into any kind of a class when they start working out, and they might not even know what deficiencies they have because they've been overcompensating for that or compensating. You might have something wrong with your hip, and because of that, it's putting extra pressures on your knee, or one side might be overbalanced. That's one thing you see with a lot of people that have done very specific sports. Like they're very strong on one side, and then the other side of their body's weak. And when you do that, you create these imbalances. You can get some serious injuries because of that.
Sure. And we take it for granted, you know. How many times you say, okay, my shoulder is in pain, but when I train, no. When I train, I'm good. It's already a senior, you know. You're training, what you're going to do, you're going to release the adrenaline and cortisol, and those are painkillers. They are supposed to make you stronger, you know, fight in the freeze or fight situation. That's what the endocrine system is doing to you. But after your training, it got even worse then. So you need to understand that. As a coach, you should be saying, you know what, we need to fix that. Because it's not good that you start training and working into the pain, because you're going to create more raw material that is not needed into your body. And for me, it's like to hold in this bottle. It doesn't weigh nothing. Today, tomorrow. But if I hold it for 1 hour, this is becoming heavy.
Right.
So we adapt to this kind of same level. They didn't change the level of the water in my bottle, but day after day, it's going to kill me. But people, they don't understand, because they say, oh, I'm used to don't sleep the hour. I'm used to don't eat enough. I'm used to walk in this pain. That's not going to happen.
Now, what do you think is like the biggest injury that you deal with when you have clients or people that you're working out with? Like, what's the most common? Is it shoulders?
Shoulder and knee. And
shoulders
more common those days, especially because we all grew up, you know, in an era that we all want to, you know, pack and shoulder and press.
Bench presses. And
I believe our shoulder is a complex joint, but it's not strong at all, because we are vertical animal. We are not like chimpanzees. It's loading, and if you see the structure, it's holding back. The horse can hold a lot of power on the shoulder. The human being shoulder is just dropping on the rib cage. It's so weak. And then the simple question is, how many of us can even stand on the wall with the feet on the wall? Some people that cannot even hold their weight.
You're saying to do a handstand with your feet on the wall?
Yeah, even simple like that. And how many people, even with the feet on the wall, can do a handstand press?
Yeah, not that many.
Not that many. And if you ask how many of you, 10 out of 10, got shoulder injury, probably 9, they say, yeah, I got an issue if I've been involved in this sport. So it's so weak. It's very complex. A lot of tendon, ligaments, multiple joints.
Do you incorporate a lot of hanging? I think hanging is something that people have been really concentrating on over the last few years for shoulder mobility and alleviating impingements.
Absolutely.
And people are listening to this. If you have anything going on with your shoulders, I'm telling you, grab a chin-up bar and hang from that thing, and just let your shoulder. It relaxes your shoulder. It stretches out your joints. And there's several doctors that stopped doing shoulder surgeries, and to alleviate pain, they've started doing hanging exercises and prescribing hanging exercises. It's amazing. Just grab a chin-up bar, start hanging from that sucker.
And that's true.
You know, he has the class starts at 12, but I go at 11. And it's not like a formulated class. I go back to the jump rope, and just to get oxygen power so I don't pass out. But Alberto will come back there like 11:15 and give me homework assignments, and they're always different, Joe. Like some days it's steel club, some days I just work on my hands and knees, and we incorporate our hips. But some days he puts me on rings. The other day he goes, "You got rings at your house?"
Rings?
I go,
like gymnastics rings?
Yeah. I go, what wall is going to hold me? I mean, he's got the whole thing. And he just taught me one thing, because my biggest weakness is my breathing. From the sleep apnea, like I even got hypnotized. I mean, I got to go tomorrow again.
You got hypnotized?
I've been going to get hypnotized.
What's going on? What are they doing?
From the sleep apnea.
You ever wake up with your pants down?
No. It got so severe. Mine was such a bad case. When my machine broke a couple of weeks ago, my wife had to go pick up the machine for me up in Canoga, and the guy was saying, "How's Joey doing?" You know, and he goes, that till this day, Joey came in here as one of the worst cases ever. Like, Joey was in bad shape. You remember what I was going through?
Yeah.
Falling asleep on your steering wheel. And that sleep apnea, like whenever my heart gets going in jiu-jitsu, like no other place does my heart get going like that when I'm on the bottom. And at first when I joined jiu-jitsu, I overcame the panic attacks. So I had to just go, stand on the bottom. Like I'd force myself to get on the bottom. I'd get like a, whatever you call it, a bridge or whatever they call it, a frame. And I'd breathe, and I overcame my fear. But the other fear I had was when I get too wound up, I can't control my breathing. It's when I would get up from the sleep apnea. So I kept thinking about something you said about on a couple of podcasts ago about a sports sports psychiatry or something.
Sports
That
psychologist?
some people have it.
Yeah.
And I did some reading, and I said, let me just go alleviate this last fear. I mean, how many fear? You know, I got the needle fear, but last week I got, you know, I still get that thing in my ear. She stuck a needle in my ear, the acupuncture, to take the fluid out, because my ear's not letting my left ear, the fluid out. So they got to put a little thing
What kind
there.
of fluids in there?
Just from taking showers. You know me, I'm obsessed with showers. And I got to put earplugs in my ears when I go in the shower, and I go in there for an hour. When California had the drought, I go to Vegas. I get one of those king-size pin showers. I smoke a joint going there for an hour and a half. I write
Really?
jokes. Oh, yeah, I love taking long showers.
In the
That's
shower,
like one of
an
my
hour
best
and a half?
material.
Really?
Yeah, best material ever. You can even practice it in there.
That's
No,
hilarious.
but I get fluid stuck in my ear. And last week I went to acupuncture, and she stuck a needle in there. And when she took it out, it relieved the pressure. Joe, I could feel the blood dripping down my face, and I could hear it hitting the pillow, and I didn't pass out.
Oh.
So because I want to get these fears out of the way. Back to tactical fitness. The rings. He has rings, and Alberto taught me emotion that it's all about my breathing. I don't leave my ass on the floor. So I basically pick up my hips as a hip escape, and then I hold that breath, but I pull myself up, I stay there, and then as I alleviate my hips back is when I exhale.
Right.
And then my arms go down on that one. So it's a 2-point breathing thing. Dog, I do 3 sets of 10 of those. I'm on fire after that.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that.
Fire.
Breathing.
Breathing is gigantic.
Fire.
It's another thing that seems so simple.
Right.
It's another thing. You tell people, oh, you got to do some breathing exercises. Pfft. People go, I'm not doing that shit. I'm doing benching, bro. I'm going to build up my pecs, bro. Right? That's what people do. They don't think that breathing is difficult, but breathing exercises. This is what I tell people. Breathe in for 1 minute and breathe out for 1 minute. Tell me that's not hard. Just take a 1 minute breath in, look at a clock, and say, ready, go. And then breathe in for 1 solid minute, nice and slow. And then breathe out for 1 minute, nice and slow. You'll be fucking dead. You're not going to be able to do it.
Sure.
Most people can hold their breath for a minute, but if you tell them to breathe in for 1 solid minute, it's really hard to do. And then you go to like a yoga class and you take, yoga deep breathing, like pranayama exercises. Right. They're very difficult. And one of the things that when I first started doing yoga, like about 2 years ago, I really started getting into it again. The breathing exercises after class, when you're doing those breathing exercises, it was like my stomach felt soft. It felt like it was kind of weak. Like it would get tired doing those. I'm like, why is my stomach? And I was like, I'm just tired from yoga. Like, why is my stomach getting tired from breathing out, like pushing air out? It's so simple. Like I do, sit-ups and leg lifts and all this different stuff. Like, why is that difficult? Because it's a different kind of thing. And you're breathing, you're pushing air out with your diaphragm and your abdominal muscles. But now I can do it pretty good. But you get to like that Hickson Gracie point. I'm sure you've seen that.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Hickson starts pulling the muscles up in these weird ways and makes them dance.
And it's so connected, brain is connected to your breathing, the heart rate is connected to your breathing, and people don't understand how it's important, to regain access to a proper breathing. Yeah. Even for people, they also think, okay, breathing for meditation. I'm now into the holistic type. No, breathing is good for everything. It's help you to visualize what you need to do it, reset your you can switch from your parasympathetic to the sympathetic
what are you saying? The what? Parasympathetic?
Yeah, nervous system, it's like if you breathe correctly, especially under stress, and you need to regain access to your cognitive presence, especially if you need to do something that is more complex. And you think about it. Some people, they're just thinking, okay, under the gas response, when my fight or freeze situation arises, and the situation is on, okay, I probably go to my gross motor skills. Yeah, but some people, like an advanced fighter and an operator, they need to go to access to gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Think about it, I'm going to run across this room, and I need to use my gross motor skill to run faster, but I need to understand where am I going to find cover and maybe shooting back to a target. So now you have fine motor skills on and gross motor skills. I need to be able to get my peripheral view on because I can't stay in my tunnel.
So wait, hold on. Because your English is tripping me up.
Sorry, man.
That's okay. So what you're talking about is big motor skills like running and sprinting, and then being able to shoot like a gun.
Absolutely.
And being able to be very precise and very accurate. which is
understanding, also interpreting where is the people is shooting at me from. So that's a complex, right? That's very complex.
So do you have guys do that? Do you have guys like lift weights and then go, or do like strenuous physical exercises, then go immediately to a range or on a range?
We do that, but also, when we start to, what is the importance of learning how to recover fast? To using the breathing, recovery breathing, like the tactical breathing, something like you were talking about. The Navy SEAL, they used to do a lot. 4 minutes, 4 seconds in, holding for 4 seconds, releasing for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds. Very basic way to learn how to get back from the high intensity to above your RA max to, let's say, 85%, something that you can bring you back to a cognitive presence so you can make the right decision. That's important.
What you tell people to do, take a 4 second in and 4 second out, so you like slow controlling of the breathing.
That's the beginning of understanding, because when I be going, I need to start going into my nose and maybe taking a pause, go out through my mind, so that my heart rate would be
in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, that does seem to somehow or another slow down your heart rate for some reason.
Exactly, and that's when your heart is slow down. It's gonna give you a signal back to your brain. Okay, now we switch. Now everything is under control, so you can make the right decision and you can get back to the fine motor skills if it's needed.
Right, and that obviously when you're training soldiers, it's got to be one of the most important things to do, to be able to operate under pressure and under like physical pressure
and make the right choice.
Yes,
because that's different.
The not panicking thing, right?
The survival response will tell you do the things that maybe it's more logical to save your life, but sometimes, like I always use this example, we're gonna cross the street right now. You're gonna cross, you see the car, you're gonna freeze, and then you're deciding jump back or jump forward, whatever is your response to see to don't get hit by the car.
Right.
But it maybe that take like 12 milliseconds. And if you've been training more to that kind of alarm, you're gonna see the car and you wanna do, before you jump in and out, you're gonna look and see on the other side, because maybe you see the car, you jump back, you didn't see the car coming from the other part, and you got killed for the other car. That take a response of 300 milliseconds. So it's the amygdala will tell you to do whatever is needed to get out from the problem faster. But the long way of your brain response, if you've been training and you're becoming resilient to the kind of alarm and shock situation, you're gonna make the right choice. And for an operator, for a fighter, whatever, it's logical. Think about jiu-jitsu or chess game. Even those guys, they play chess. They're so under stress hour, the brain is cooking. And the guys make a move, and maybe they are not playing, and just, I see the move, I say, I got to move this way. The other guy is planning, taking more time to plan whatever is going on, because he starts to understand why you did that move. So it's not illogical for me, I should be going that way. And in training, regaining access to your breathing, to your heart rate, to your brain control is fundamental. That's why I believe we need to be careful, and understanding fitness is so important. We can do a lot of things. It's not just changing how the way they look. We can help different people in different things. And for some people, it's life-changing.
Yeah, the ability to be calm under pressure is something that very few people have. And they just it's not something that they exercise. They don't get to do it on a regular basis. They don't get severely stressed, so that when they are in a severe stress situation and they have to make a critical decision, or they have to use fine motor skills in a critical situation, most people are just completely incapable of handling that emotional and physiological load. Sure. What is it about? There's something interesting about breathing in through your mouth that creates like a panic feeling, like when guys are tired. What is? I don't understand. Like, it's a shallow breathing thing that happens.
Yeah, they try to take too much air in, I believe.
That's what it is.
And they brace. The problem.
They brace.
When
so
they brace,
clamp up.
Yeah, we call it like a forced breathing. And it leads you into the fear reaction. And so for your brain, it's why you're bracing. You're bracing when you don't know something, or you're facing something you never expecting. So for my brain, my database is been there before. In your life, you'll be freezing for something, and they will bring you back. Okay, this is a fear situation, so your sympathetic system is on, and you start to lose control.
Hit that panic mode.
I think it's so simple. How many times you tight your lace shoes?
Right.
And sometimes when you're under stress, under something, you're a little bit losing control. Maybe we fight. We have a discussion, very intense discussion. You can tight your lace, so that's already
you can't tie your shoelace because you're all out of whack.
Control.
Yeah. Breathing in. One of the things that you really learn that, like during yoga class, in very particularly stressful situations, it's so hard to breathe smooth. It's one of the things that I've learned how to do is to try to concentrate only on my breath, and it actually makes the exercise easier, which doesn't seem to make any sense. Because before I'd just be concentrating on the exercise, and what I realized somewhere along the line is my breath is not very smooth, and I'm not doing a good job of controlling myself. So now when I'm in a situation like a really difficult, like standing bow pose or something like that, right, what I concentrate on more than anything, more even than the posture, is just my breathing. Concentrate on big, slow, deep breaths. And I swear it makes it like 10% easier. Just concentrating on the breathing makes everything easier. And Chrome Gracie said that too when he was in here. We were talking about jiu-jitsu, and he's like, it's breath, man. Breath is everything. And once you can control your breath, once you understand how to control your breath, it makes those positions better, makes jiu-jitsu easier, makes everything better.
Sure.
Your breath, control your breath, Joey.
And you say the right things. You know what? All of us, we know how to brace, how to inhale. We're talking for half an hour. We never stop and do while we're talking.
But we're not under stress.
Right. We don't understand. When people understand, they start to do it. The problem is when people, they don't know how to exhale. If you're taking a man and putting under the water with the head,
right,
what is the last thing he's going to do before he die? To catch the breathing. So the body exactly know when it's time to inhale.
Yes.
But it doesn't know how to when it's time to exhale.
That's
under fear, that's we tend to force in the breathing.
We see people hyperventilate. Like my 6-year-old gets upset about things. Sometimes she hyperventilates. Like she just can't get it out. Like she's upset. Like someone did this to me. I'm so upset. You know, and you got to go, okay, you got to calm down. I want you to take some big deep breaths. But it's hard to teach a 6-year-old that, you know?
Now, what the fuck do we do on stage for breathing?
Just talk.
I've never
thought about it?
Like, I started getting anxiety at the store. So now when I walk up to the original room, like on Tuesdays, or when I did the will turn, I forced myself to breathe in and out of my nose. But for years...
You get anxiety at the store?
Yeah, in the original room. Since I've been back. I don't know. It all started the night I had to follow Morgan Murphy. I don't know. I went up there, and she was on stage, and I don't know what it is. I just get anxiety in the original room. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And at the Wilson Theater, I walked out, and I looked that way, and then I looked at the audience, and it was like, woo! And I had to breathe a little through my nose. But what do we do on stage? Are we breathing through our nose, or are we breathing through our mouths? We fucking talk shit for 45 to an hour. I looked at the special that I shot, and I'm like, where am I breathing?
Yeah.
How interesting. We got to watch that next time.
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing up there?
Yeah, you're not thinking. You're just breathing. Yeah, well, you just concentrated so much on what you're trying to say that it all just comes natural. Just like right now. Like while I'm talking to you right now, I took a little breath right there, but I wasn't thinking about it. I only need a little bit of air.
Right.
You know?
Because it's so natural for you.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe take me in a conference the first time, and I'm going to be shaking and go, run into my word, and then taking a breath. You know?
You see that from people that are giving speeches.
Yeah.
You do see that if they've not become comfortable with public speaking. Public speaking is one of the most stressful things for some people.
Like number 2 or number 1 in some people's world. Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
I had one time a judge asked me.
Mm-hmm.
He was about to sentence me. And he goes, do you have anything to say to for yourself? And I had it written down. I had everything, Joe Rogan. I started squeaking. He's like, don't worry about it. Guilty. I couldn't talk.
You panic.
I couldn't talk. I went right into a panic when this little man looked at me.
Well, people get nervous, you know, and when you get nervous, your adrenaline kicks in, and when your adrenaline kicks in, everything tightens up. You know, it just, you know, and physiological stress, like yoga positions, can kind of mimic that. You know, like when you're in a position, like when you got your hands over your head and you're leaning your whole body to the side, it's very hard to stay smooth with your breathing when you're in those spots. Like that's the number one thing that I concentrate on. Holding my body in that position is not nearly as hard as holding my body and breathing smoothly. Breathing smoothly is the most difficult part of that posture, like a lot of postures.
And as soon as you change your breathing, you start to changing inside and you changing outside.
Yeah.
Yes. I see this happening a lot, you know, a lot. What is the first reaction when you're under stress? You know, tension. But for if you look back what happened when you were in the I just say prehistory.
Think about it.
You are a prey. What you're doing, like any animal, like a cat in the road, they start to pump his hair up so to become bigger, right? So that's what we're doing. We growing our shape, so the predator might look at us like, oh, we're too big. I'm gonna attack a simple predator. We try to, our skin start to twiggling, something like we don't
goosebumps.
We don't have hair, but we try to do the same, mimic the same.
Is that what goosebumps are? It's like your hair's puffing up to make you look bigger.
Under fear.
Wow.
Under fear.
That's interesting.
And if I look in,
Well, how come it's like that when you hear a good song?
that's a different feeling.
You got a goosebump.
It's like a lot of people, they misinterpret, or they all thinking that we go tactical training, we do this, and we can control fear, reaction. No, that's two different things. You can control when you are really under stress for that kind of situation. So heart rate, fear is another things. Matter of fact, under high intensity workout, you become red. Under fear, you become Paul. So it's different physiological things going into your body. So the only things that people don't is misunderstanding that doing some kind of under high intensity workout, we can control also the fear, real fear, because real fear is another thing.
Well, one of the things you see with fighters is they perform better when they're more active, when they fight more often. So if the fighter fights like 3 times a year, they're used to fighting every few months, and they get that feeling of competition becomes a normal, natural thing for them. And that's also something that happens when you see a fighter lose. When you see a fighter lose and then they come back, they're very tense, and they fight. A lot of times they fight different because they're now worried and concerned about the consequences of failure. And you see that fear, that tension, it's in their system, and then their whole mode of operating as an athlete changes because of that tension.
Because they didn't recover for the shock, for the situation they've been through.
Sure, and that's also one of the biggest factors when you talk about the difference between the way someone performs in the gym versus the way someone performs in competition. We've all known these guys that were phenomenal in the gym, but for whatever reason, they weren't able to win in competition. It's so common. It's with some guys, it's almost like it's crazy. It's almost like there's a spell on them or something. Sure. Like you'll see them in the gym and you're like, this guy's a world beater, but they can't beat anybody in a competition.
Why is that?
Psychological. It's all psychological. They are imprisoned by their own fears and doubts. They don't have the confidence to rise to the occasion. They don't have the confidence to perform under pressure. They can't just accept the potential failure. They're so overwhelmed and imprisoned by their fear of failure that when they get out there, they can't perform at their best. It's crazy because it forces failure. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy because they can't perform like they do in the gym. They can't just react. They can't flow. Like when you are fighting, when you're at your best, you're sort of just in this empty space. Like you're not thinking about the moves as much as they're just happening, and you're just relying on your training, and you're almost the best thing you do is stay calm, because as soon as you get emotional, as soon as you get aggressive, you might win being emotional and aggressive. You could catch someone and knock them out, but you also might get knocked out yourself. You might do something that's not smart, like when you're talking earlier about playing chess. Martial arts is a lot of ways very much like chess, but way more complicated because your physical consequences are so severe. So there's all this fear. It's not just about losing. It's about getting hit. And that punishment of physical consequences is just so significant. It's so much different even than in jiu-jitsu. Like jiu-jitsu, the physical consequences are tapping and losing, and those are terrible. But it's nothing like getting kicked in the face or getting one of those Yoel Romero flying knees to your head. That kind of fear that's an overwhelming fear. And for some people, they throw up when they're in the locker room, and they panic, and they get so scared they just can't perform under pressure.
If you transfer this also to some of the operators, some of the operators that literally dump.
When you say an operator, you're talking about
special
soldiers, special ops guys.
They're tough, they are super guys, they are
right.
I'm amazed by those guys, and they just chapeau, But it's natural, they say, during the task, I might be shitting in my pants, But
Wow.
it's physiological. It's physiological. And
So-
then you keep going. Then you keep
They
going.
just keep going with shit in their
Because
pants.
that's a physiological reaction to the kind
Yeah.
of stress factor.
Oh, yeah.
Your body wants to get lighter to fight back faster or run away or whatever. So
Yeah.
it can't control it. There's nothing to be shame about it.
You see it with animals as well. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
famous video of these two bears fighting, and as the bears are fighting, they're shitting all over the place. As they're fighting, they're shitting.
I love watching movies like Collateral or something when people go into some place and they shoot a place up and people's reaction, how they run. That's not usually the case, bro. I've seen it. People drop to the fucking floor. People drop without even getting shot. They don't know what. You just freeze.
Yeah.
The sound of you being somewhere and being transferred to the sound of gunfire is fucking overwhelming. And some people get it and react to it, and some people just think it's the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but I've seen people fucking drop from fear.
Yeah.
Drop from fear. Something that I was as a child, and I was 2 blocks away from, just people dropping from fear. It's so, like I remember when I lived in Aspen, they have the ESI Bodyguard Academy in Aspen.
Yeah.
What is that?
I know that.
What is it? What does ESI stand for?
Vintage.
I don't know, but the guy supposedly was in a room, 6x12 room, and he killed 12 Mexicans at night point with his bare hands. So he opens up this ESI thing, and it's 20 G's. It's a summer long program, and you learn how to adjust up at the high altitude and drive and evasive driving and shooting. Then they have a course on maritime, how to defend people out on the ocean, and all that stuff. But see, Aspen and all those places, like Woody Creek, where you went, is home to the baddest retired soldiers in the world, and you don't know who they are. You just think that dude over there with the American flag is mowing the lawn. That guy killed 80 people with one hand in Vietnam.
There's a guy in Denver that I know.
I'm telling you,
amazing.
Colorado is where they put them.
Why? Why do they put them in Colorado?
Because the mountains to keep them away from civilization from these people. Just in case they hear Chinese music somewhere on the street. They don't ever want that to happen, okay?
Break glass in case of war.
And there was a guy that came in that was a Marine that, bro, Joe, anybody comes in with stories, I know one thing. When I see it, I believe it. The motherfucker used to get picked up at Aspen Airport in a helicopter.
Duh.
Like they sent like a helicopter with 2 guys jumping out, 4 guys around them, and he would just wave at Uncle Joey. I was 19.
Wow.
And he would tell me stories about, the Green Berets and all these guys were sitting around a thing cooking chili, and they were all telling how many people they killed. I killed 18, I killed 22. Meanwhile, he was stirring the soup with his dick over the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stories this guy would tell me. He had me all fucked up in the head. And I asked him once, I go, should I go to that ESI? And he goes, listen, I'll go in there and smack them all with my left hand. He goes, first of all, you can't teach what you need to learn over there.
Oh, yeah.
Because 4 years of Charlie in the bush is a lot better than 12 weeks of you hanging out with some white dudes with suits shooting people, targets in the mountains.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's not.
Until there's real consequences.
So that's why he said it just wasn't.
Don't you think, though, it's better than nothing? I would think that it's better than nothing. I would think that the best thing would be actually being in boot camp, actually going to buds, actually being in some sort of a situation where you realize this is life, this is real. Whereas if you're preparing like up in Colorado and you're just going through that course,
right?
You might have some things in your mind. But that's one of the things like people say to me like should I take a self-defense class? Like when they show you how to kick somebody in the knee, I go, listen to me, that shit is not gonna like. There was this guy on the fucking radio that was he was always talking about it was on Opie and Anthony show back in the day, and he was always talking about there's a difference between the street and martial arts. There's martial arts and tournaments. There's rules in the street. There's no rules. And I'm like, I fucking hate when people say that kind of shit. Because listen to me, the stuff that works on trained killers is the real shit. And if you think that you're going to come in and you're going to throw some fucking karate chop at someone's balls and you're going to somehow or another be able to stop Anderson Silva from kicking you across the room, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. First of all, you're not going to karate chop his balls. He's not going to let you get close enough to him. And if he does let you get close enough to him, he's going to strangle you. And you're not going to be able to do a goddamn thing about it. You're going to be 100% helpless. So these ideas that there's a shortcut, and the shortcut is like street defense. There's a certain pressure points around your neck, I can attack that, and you will be helpless. No, you're not going to get my neck, you fuck.
Let me grab your finger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that guy from the fucking store. There was a guy at the store who used to pinch down on literally this is the biggest phony I've ever met in all my years of meeting phony martial arts guys. He used to pinch down on your thumbnail. He was like, there's a pressure point on your thumb.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, motherfucker, dudes lie on me with their knee on my neck. Like, they'll put all their weight on your neck to try to get you to give up the armbar. Like, if you're in a situation where you're defending it's an armbar and a guy's on top of you, guys will put their fucking knee, a 230-pound man will put his knee on your neck while he's trying to, and he'll put all his weight on it. And you're not tapping from that. You think I'm going to tap from a thumbnail?
It's funny. I saw people try to get into the special forces community. I try to teach them
Pressure point shit?
I
Oh.
said, do you realize this guy's wearing bulletproof jacket
Yeah.
and,
It's not gonna
vest and
feel a
pads
goddamn
and
thing.
all the material? You're not going to even access to the body,
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy. Man.
crazy.
It's crazy, mate.
There's so many stupid martial arts courses. I mean, it's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. There's so many these ridiculous ideas that you're gonna be able to defend yourself with some tricks.
But
You know?
you were saying on the car, people that love these things, like
They like
you're
bullshit.
gonna have 6 packs,
Yeah.
10 minutes training a day in 6 weeks or whatever.
Late
People
night
like-
infomercials. Yeah.
people love that.
You only have 15 minutes, but 15 minutes is 2 minutes too much. 13 minutes is all you need. 13 minutes. All you need is 13 minutes. You're like, wow, that's what I've been waiting for. I'm going to be shredded. I'm going to look great in the beach. 13 minutes. Fuck the fuck out of here.
We've had a civilization of just these things, big dick pills, which
Yeah.
you go to just things that,
Yeah, quick fixes.
if you stay up past 1, it's all attacking men's testosterone level. I don't know what it is about people after 1. I'm fucking tired.
So we're all
all the time.
tired.
Yeah, so we're sleeping.
Yeah, but those guys that are up late at night, they're just like half out of it.
That's all they.
The resistance is down.
Do you have more sex drive? I mean, they just sell you some fucking
Yeah.
bill of lading, whether it's the big dick pills or the 6-minute workout.
Yeah.
And then they keep beating each other like by 1 minute. We have the 6, well, we have the 5-minute workout. And you know what, man? Half of America buys into that.
A lot of America buys into those
That's-
fat pills.
That's the sad thing.
And once again, if we want to go back to what we discussed before, it's all about also, your breathing. I mean, how comfortable you are in the situation. And I always give this example. I believe I've been there. I don't know you guys, but the sometimes you desire to date someone so badly, and you get so excited when you get it. And the first day that you go, you feel like you cannot even move. You panic. And if you
I remember
get to
those
have
days.
sex that day,
Oh.
it doesn't work the way that you want. You pray that it's gonna
Yeah.
work, but after you pass the first shot, the second, the third is become better. It's exercising and breathing control is all the same.
Yeah.
Once you get used to, everything comes. It's so comfortable.
That's a big thing with again what we were talking about with fighting. When I had one time where I tore a muscle and I didn't compete for like 6 months. It was like the longest time I'd ever gone without competing. Because I tore the muscle that connects the groin to like I think it's called the sartorius muscle. It's like at the top of the leg. It was real bad. I couldn't throw any kicks at all. I could only do my workouts in the pool. It was pretty bad. And so when I was recovering from that, when I got back in, my first fight back, I was like, wow, it feels so off. My timing feels off. Everything feels weird. But then I fought again less than a month later, and I felt great. Like less than a month later, everything was like, all right, I know this again. This is my thing. I've been here before. And then I felt normal again. It's like when you have a girlfriend. If you have a girlfriend for a long time, you don't get nervous about whether or not you're going to get it up. You don't panic like, I hope she likes me. She fucking likes you. She's naked. She's right there. She's been with you forever. You know she likes you, so it's not an issue. But if it is, like you said, a girl that you've been thinking about for the longest time, and I'm going to ask her out, hope this goes well, and then you finally get where they're like, yikes! It's like there's so much panic, and the human penis is such a fucking odd thing in that regard. That's like, what a bizarre thing. It's designed to make sure, like, look, dude, if you ain't calm, you're not gonna fuck, okay? Because we don't want any weak-ass, nervous bitches out there making babies. So the system is built to make sure that your dick does not get hard if you're fucking panicking. It's not like a rhino horn where it's armed and ready at all times. No, it's like a very specific physiological process has to be in place where the softest part of your body becomes hard like a fucking rock. Like that, the process itself is crazy. When you look at your dick when you're going to pee, and it's this soft little spongy thing, and then you grab your dick when it's at full mast, and it's like, how is that the same thing? Because it's this crazy physiological process that only works if you're ready to rock.
Right.
Like you can't be faking it. Like your body knows if you're panicking.
Right.
You could.
There is a book. There is a book. I don't know how you translate it in English, but there is a book that explains it so well. It's so simple about those reaction of the body under stress. And you say, think about the zebra on the savannah. You know, that's exactly, you know, when someone is chasing you to hit you. And when you are under stress, high stress, your body starts producing hormone like testosterone. Why? You know, the last thing you want to have is sex when some lion is behind you. So that's exactly what he's doing. You know, shutting down whatever is needed.
Shutting down everything. Yeah.
So it's under stress. You know, when you are freaking out, you can't perform. You can't perform. You are not relaxed. You are confident. You know, it's not.
Zebras are so bizarre because you see the way their body looks. Like they're not camouflaged at all. Like they have white with black stripes on.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, they thought that the white with black stripes on would confuse an animal's mind. Like there's a type of camo. Have you ever heard of ASAT camo? As a type of camouflage. It doesn't look like trees or anything. It's just a bunch of black and brown lines. And those lines for animals, because animals, their eyes operate on edge detection. They operate on a lot of them, especially prey animals like deer and things along those lines. They see movement. They don't necessarily see things the way you see things. They mostly just see movement. And so for the longest time, they thought, well, maybe when you're looking like a lion is looking at a zebra, the lion is seeing this zebra's body, and there's all the lines confused so he can't see it. Then they realized, no. What it actually is you can't pick out individual zebras. So, like, if an individual zebra like looks different from the other zebras, that's the one they get after. Yeah. Like if one zebra's bleeding and has blood on its body and it looks different from all those other white and black lines, that's the one they target, which is kind of fucked. And one of the ways they found out this, they tagged a zebra. They put like an ear tag on a zebra, and they sent, Jordan Peterson was talking about this recently in this video, and they put it back into the herd, and the lions immediately killed that zebra. That's the one they went right to because it had something different. Like, you see all these white and black lines, and then, oh, this motherfucker's got an ear tag. Get him! And they just went right after that. So it's really designed like, look, we know we're fucked. We're born fucked. But if we stay together, you know, maybe, look, when you see that. So when you see all those zebras together, it's super confusing. Well, we will have this fucking TV fixed soon, I swear. This TV cuts in and out. That one, you can see it back. So when you see these zebras and we see these lions, what it's designed to do is confuse the lions so that they don't know which one to target, which is crazy. But if one of those motherfuckers had an ear tag, a big old yellow tag hanging off their ear, the lions would be like, there you are, bitch. I see you.
That's kind of cool.
It's fucked, though. I mean, what a terrible situation nature has given these poor things. Yeah. The lions are camouflaged. The lions look like the brown grasses, you know? Sure. And tigers, apparently, that whole stripe thing with them is also to make them blend in with all their surroundings, all the trees and the sticks. You know, they live mostly in the jungle. So you were asking me before this about the fights.
Yeah, that's
the UFC this weekend.
What do you think? Because when they were counter-striker, that's why they keep the distance. And they know exactly that's...
This is what I think. A lot of people were like pissed off. It was boring. But I think that's because they just want to see people beat the fuck out of each other, which I understand. That's why you tune into cage fighting. But to me, the way I always describe martial arts is it's high-level problem solving with dire physical consequences. And if you run in on Tyron Woodley, you got some dire physical consequences. He's a fucking powerhouse. And if Woodley charges at Thompson, there's dire physical consequences because he was getting tagged. When he said it to me after the fight, he's like, he caught me a few times as I was charging towards him. So Woodley has a different style than Thompson. Thompson has that wide stance, that karate style, and he's excellent at moving in and moving out and almost like point fighting you.
Right.
He's just jabbing you, hitting you with these clean left hands, sliding out of the way, occasionally throwing kicks, but mostly what he's doing is making you wonder what he's going to do and when he's coming at you. And Woodley had to pick his battles and figure out when he could launch himself at him. So at any moment, something could have happened. But a lot of shit didn't happen. Right. So the people watching at home like, that was the most boring fight ever. It's because those moments are so critical. Those moments are so dangerous. You can't just, they would like it to be like Frankie Edgar, Gray Maynard, just fucking chaos and punches throwing, wild. It's not going to happen like that. You can't do that with Wonder Boy. You can't charge at him like that. He will fucking counter you, and you will be one of those people on his highlight reel. So Tyron Woodley was very smart, and that he knew that he couldn't charge at him. And Wonder Boy, he's not going to charge at Woodley either. I mean, he got almost knocked the fuck out in the first fight. He almost got knocked the fuck out in the fifth round of the second fight, too. Yeah. Woodley's a powerhouse, man. He hits so goddamn hard. So everybody had to be on their toes. They both had to be minding their P's and Q's. And that translated for a boring fight to a lot of people, but not to me. To me, I was like, anything can happen at any moment. In the fifth round, it almost did.
Almost did.
When Woodley connected and Thompson's knees went out, I mean, he slumped. He was out, man. He was out for at least a half a second or a moment, you know. There was a moment where his legs gave out, his body went limp, and they could have stopped the fight right there. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they kept it going. I talked to Big John McCarthy in the cage after the fight. I go, how close were you to stopping that fight? He goes, I wasn't close to stopping that fight. I go, well, you were looking, right? He goes, I was looking. I go, you were looking close. He goes, I'll never admit it. I goes, but it was, I mean, he was almost out, right? He goes, he was almost out. He might have been out for a half a second, but I gave him a chance. I go, he did a great job. He did an amazing job. I mean, that's why Big John McCarthy's so important, a guy with that kind of experience. And if he fucked that up, everybody would be so mad at him. But he did it perfect. It was perfect. He has the most difficult job in the sport other than the fighters. Fighters have the most difficult job. Second most difficult job is the referee. Third most difficult job is the judges.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe he's going to interpret trauma for the other people.
Well, he has to be at the right angle. Right. Like, they're moving around, and they're fast, and they could go to his left, and he could be over here, but something could be happening on their right, and he doesn't even see it. You know, you don't know. Like, sometimes guys don't see taps. Sometimes guys don't see certain eye pokes or groin shots. There's a lot of things that can happen. A referee's job is insanely difficult, and they only get praise when they fuck up. Right. Or they only rather get attention when they fuck up. They don't get any praise when they do a great job. And just they need more. You know, they need more people need to understand, like, how difficult that is. So that moment where Tyron finally did connect on Wonder Boy, and everybody's like, why didn't you do that earlier? Because he could have got knocked the fuck out. Like, that was where the opening was. Woodley was so aggressive because he was down on the scorecards, at least in his corner's eyes, and in my eyes he was as well, and he had to charge forward, and he had to connect, and he did. But to make that happen, a lot of things have to be in place. You have to understand Wonder Boy's timing. He had been fighting him for 4 rounds already. He was getting a sense of what Wonder Boy could and couldn't do. He also knew the consequences. He'd been tagged a couple of times. Right. So he knew, like, I can't just rush at him, because Wonder Boy was trying to time him with that right hook. He was standing in the southpaw position with his right leg forward. He throws that front leg side kick to the body. He throws it really well because he picks it up from the ground, like, low, and it sort of scoops up. So you don't see it coming until it's too late. It might not be the most powerful application of the front leg side kick, but it's very sneaky because he slides in with that foot low, and then it comes up and stabs you. And you don't know if it's going to come up as a side kick or if it's going to go up and over your shoulder as a round kick. You don't know what he's doing. He's so sneaky. So Tyron had to be very cautious. And for a lot of people, it was very boring because of that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think it was boring while it was happening. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, there's going to be moments when the shit starts flying. And in those moments, that's where the fight becomes amazing. But those guys are smart, and they're not dumb. And the belt is so goddamn important. When you have the belt, you get to decide. You fight all the best fighters. You make the money. You know, you get the opportunities for the big money fights, like the Conor McGregor type fights. Those only happen if you have the belt. If you don't have the belt, nobody gives a fuck about you. So for a guy like Tyron, man, that belt is everything. For a guy like Woodley, or a guy like Wonder Boy, rather. That belt is everything. If you don't have that belt, you make a fraction of what you make. Like, think about that fight. That fight's insanely close. It was so close. Dominic Cruz afterwards said, that's basically the same fight as the first fight.
Right.
It's like you could call, if you've called the first fight a draw, you could easily call this fight a draw. And I agree with him. So that means that Wonder Boy and Woodley are essentially like so closely matched stylistically that it's a wash, right? But meanwhile, Woodley's the one who's the champion. Woodley's the one who has the potential to fight Conor McGregor. Woodley is the one who has the potential to fight Michael Bisping or who else he fights at whatever weight he fights at. And that is where the money is.
Right.
So he's the guy who's going to get the money. Whereas Wonder Boy, who essentially had a draw with him, proved that he was at least close enough on one fight and just a hair under on the second fight. He's going to make a fraction of what Woodley makes, likely. Mm-hmm. So those consequences have to be taken into consideration when you're watching these guys fight, is that they know there's a win bonus and there's a loss. Like, if you lose, you get your show money. You don't get a bonus. But if you win, you get twice the money. Like, a lot of guys have the way their contract is structured, they'll make X if they win, and they'll make X plus X. They'll make X plus X if they win, but if they lose, they only make X. So they might be getting $200,000 for the fight, but another $200,000 if they win. That's a giant swing. That's a big deal. So they have to be really fucking careful they don't make mistakes. I don't like win bonuses, man. I don't like it. I think those guys are trying to win anyway. They're trying to win. I just think, like, especially in particular in situations like that, when fights are like that fucking close. Like, a judge can decide whether or not you make an extra $200,000 or don't. Like, that seems crazy to me.
Right. Are you still training?
Yeah,
I
still training.
saw you boxing.
Yeah.
I saw you boxing a few weeks ago, right? You
Yeah,
posted a
I'm
video.
back doing jiu-jitsu again, too. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I was working on heavy bag last night at the Alberto Crane Academy. I was night. I came back from Ventura. I was teaching a workshop, and I need some let go something. I didn't want to lift weight. I see the dojo empty, well, heavy bags, gloves. I said, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Well, heavy bag, I think, is everybody would do better if they had a heavy bag in their garage.
Yeah.
Just go out there and hit that thing. It feels good. You don't even have to have great form. Just go out there and hit it. It's so good for your body to just explode and just release tension and stress. Right. And for people who have, like, joint issues, they have these water bags. It's essentially like a thick layer of the outside is like a thick layer of padding, like a few inches of pad of foam, and then inside of that is a water bladder. It's filled with water. So when you punch it, it's like whoosh, your arm goes into it. But you could really dig in and hit it hard, but it doesn't have the same impact like on your joints. You don't feel it so much on your elbows and your shoulders and stuff because there's give to it.
It's creativity. I mean, once in Sicily, you ever been in Italy?
Yeah. I was at the first time last year. I went to Italy.
Cool,
Loved it.
You like it? Where you been?
Man, I went to Rome.
Nice.
Went to the Vatican. Saw the Vatican. We went to what is the mountain area?
Dolomite?
No, God damn it.
Alpine?
It was out near where the volcano killed everybody, Vesuvius.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we went there, and then we went to the Amalfi Coast.
Amalfi Coast.
Yes,
down
that's
to
where it
Naples,
was. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Oh man,
it's amazing.
So beautiful. It didn't even seem real. It seems like you were in front of a green screen.
It's crazy.
Like you look out. You have to go on this mountain road. It's crazy, Joey. It's a road that should be one lane. But it's two, and there's buses on it. Fucking buses and motorcycles. Assholes and motorcycles. Weaving in and out of cars. People in Italy drive like fucking maniacs. Like you have never seen. We all know Italians are kind of crazy. I'm mostly Italian, and I know you're fucking crazy.
Do they have the left-hand steering wheel? Or
No.
Right? It's regular, like
Regular.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only left-hand in England and in Japan, South Africa. Yeah.
Have you gotten in a car with a left hand?
Yes.
With a right hand?
Australia as well.
Australia.
What did you feel like?
It's fucking confusing as shit. You're like, where are we going? You're on the wrong side.
And if you didn't never stick driving, it's even worse.
Oh yeah, because you have the shift with your left hand.
Yeah,
But you still the clutch is still on the left hand side, right? And the pedal's still on the right.
Still on the left.
Yeah, I think I'd adjust. But it would be the opposite version. Yeah, so this is what it's like on the Amalfi Coast. So you're driving on this road.
Sure.
This is what it's like. That's a 2-lane road, Joey. There's a fucking bus coming, and you got to figure out how to get a car past that bus. And we were going, like, and I'm not exaggerating, a half of a mile an hour trying to get past cars and buses.
Absolutely.
It takes forever to get up there. It should take 10 minutes. That's the road. It should take 10 minutes. It takes 90. I'm not kidding. But once you get up to the top, like look at that picture where you're seeing the ocean, Jamie, like up in the right-hand corner, upper right-hand, yeah, like there. That's what it looks like once you finally get up there. You're like, wow, it's so pretty, man. Italy's amazing. The food's
great, huh?
out of this world. Fuck your gluten. You better all your gluten-free bullshit. You better let that go when you're in Italy.
So was there a
bitch.
lot of pasta in Italy?
Oh yeah.
People here say, nah, you go to Italy, it's nothing like that. That's Americanized.
What?
It's more fish and stuff. There's a lot of.
Well, they definitely eat a lot of fish.
No,
yeah.
do they still use gravy like red sauce? No.
Not so
That's
much.
Americanized. Right.
Not so much. You can get it though, and I think one of the reasons why you can get it is because probably people have come over there and wanted it. You know.
Do you remember that episode of The Sopranos and the guy ordered? He's like, I want gravy, and the one waiter looked at the other one and he goes, these East Coast Italians, they're as classless as the Germans because he ordered spaghetti with gravy.
Yeah.
That's not big over there.
Well, you say gravy, like people are like, what is he talking gravy? Like people think of like gray.
No,
like
it's
gravy
sauce,
with biscuits.
right?
Yeah, it was spaghetti sauce.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like
weird.
bolognese.
Yeah.
Bolognese, yeah.
They
I had
have
bolognese
that.
last night.
Yeah, you can get bolognese over there, but it's just the Americans that came over, they developed a different sort of style of eating. Like a lot of meatballs.
Yeah, like
and-
Alfredo, fettuccine Alfredo.
You don't like it?
No, I mean,
That's
I
the
never-
shit you eat when you come here as an immigrant.
Right.
Like when I came from Cuba, like when you're a white kid, you eat, that's my daughter likes Alfredo. That shit's gonna get cut off the menu in like a month.
But
You know, no Alfredo in my fucking world.
Why not Alfredo?
Because that's what people eat in Iowa. Like that's the first Italian. They eat like Alfredo.
Olive
They
Garden.
love it. You know, no. That's like a 1 month training thing. Like when I even had it out of a fucking jar. Like that's how Alfredo
Alfredo
I
sauce?
was. Yeah, when I came from Cuba and I tasted Italian food, my mind blew up. You know, I was into all angles of it, but the red sauce was last. I fucking Alfredo with fucking those thick noodle sauce.
I
That's
like
what you
it.
give to a fucking horse.
I like it.
But-
No!
But when I moved-
like
when I moved-
Alfredo sauce with chicken and broccoli.
Oh no!
Little mushrooms. Come on, Jamie. Is it good, right? It's good.
You grow out of that. Like, I grew out of that. I was like,
It's not my first choice, but I like it.
No, I don't.
But I never heard about that since
yeah,
since
you-
I moved here. When I moved here in 90, it was 92, 93. Everybody were asking me, "Do you like fettuccine Alfredo?" I said, "I don't even know where they are." And they
That's
said, "Yo,
hilarious.
you are no Italian." I said, "No, I'm from Italy. The passport say it."
You don't know Italian. That's like
It's
that's
crazy,
hilarious. That's like going somewhere in another country and they
Crazy.
tell you
It's just here.
cheeseburgers on American.
What are the meals? So you have bolognese, you have arrabbiata,
Yeah, there's a lot
you
of
have
things,
pasta
you know.
fazool, you
Pasta
have...
fagioli. Yeah, it's dependent about the location. That you
They
go,
call
the
it
north,
they
the
call it
south,
the
it's
real
different.
name, like pasta fagioli.
Pasta
Pasta
fagioli.
fagioli.
Yeah, they don't call it pasta fazool.
Well, that's New
Like,
Jersey,
yeah.
pasta fazool. But then what's in the... Like, we can't get that stuff here in Canada. What's in
The
that?
gabagooch.
Not the gabagool. The other one. The green stuff. The stuff that gets your
pesto.
dick hard.
The what?
Pesto?
What?
I thought it was a blue
Pesto
one. Like
gets your
this.
dick hard? That's a,
What do you
that's
put in pasta
Viagra.
fazool? You put beans and the green stuff. It's not
The
spinach.
pistachio, the pesto, pasta pesto.
No.
It's not spinach?
It's not. What do you? They call it's two things.
It's so you're talking about a type of vegetable?
escarole and beans.
Oh, escarole. Oh.
That shit.
Escarole gets your dick hard?
Huh?
I think your dick was just getting hard. you were
Listen
just
to
looking
me.
for a
Pasta
reason.
fazool in the winter. You make that shit in November. Okay? You know, I ate pasta. When I first tasted it, I ate it every day for like 40 days.
Yeah.
Like when I first went to
That
my
seems
friend's house,
excessive.
I went from 160 to 194. Just eating pasta fazool twice a day.
That
and
sounds
lifting
like the
weights.
army. That's the only thing they were giving
Oh,
you.
lifting weights and pasta fazool, you get yoked, Jack. It's like taking D-ball. You get yoked. Just pop those beans, that escarole, and that in the winter with all that garlic and stuff, you're off and running,
They
brother.
did have a lot of fish. Like I
Yeah.
had amazing
That's what we're
seafood.
talking about on the drive up.
The Amalfi Coast, they had amazing seafood, but the pasta was like a very light sauce. Like you know, how
White
you get
sauce.
like if you went to a good place and got like linguine vongole, they'll give you a linguine with a very light olive oil and garlic sauce with the linguine, and like that is the kind of pasta. Like it's a very much more delicate pasta.
Yeah, because you want to taste the fish.
Yeah,
You don't want
yeah.
to cover the flavor.
Yeah. That's why if you try to go to a real Italian restaurant, you ask for cheese, like grated cheese on like linguine vongole, they'll look at you like you're a fucking monster. Like,
True.
who
It's
are
true.
you?
You're not gonna put the cheese on the top of the fish.
Yeah, they'll say it's not recommend.
Not recommend.
Not recommend. They look at you like, don't do it. And you're like, no, come on, hit me with it. Like Kevin James and I used to always get linguine and clams, and he would get pissed if they didn't come over with the cheese. Like, where's the guy with the cheese? We gotta have the grated cheese. And he would try to put it on like at a good restaurant. They get upset with you. Yeah. They don't want you putting that cheese on it. If you have like spaghetti bolognese or something like that, they'll ask you, would you like some cheese? And then that makes sense. But they don't even come near you. They'll try to stay away from your side of the table if you got linguine with clams. They don't want to give it to you.
Yeah, even red wine with the fish.
They get mad.
Yeah, they get mad.
Yeah, they get mad. You're supposed to drink white wine with fish.
Really?
Yeah.
They get that upset with it?
I don't drink white wine.
I don't like dry white wine. I drink barley, but red wine is better than white for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll drink white, but I don't order it. Like if somebody pours me a glass, I'm not gonna be. It's not awful, but if I have a choice, it's always red. I like red. Red to me, it's like it's got a flavor that's like compelling. It's interesting. It's alive. It's white wine is like chick drink. Sorry, girls.
I drank a fucking
sexist.
My mom used to have a bar, and she at night when we go home. When I was real young, like 4 or 5 in New York City, my mom would have a little glass of red wine. The wine with the fucking Italian paperwork on it. You ever go to Michelli's and they hang them?
Yeah.
Like that shit. So I was maybe 4, maybe 5, and I would watch her. One night I watched her go to bed, and I said, fuck it. And I took that bottle of wine, I fucking drank the whole thing. She woke up like 6 hours later, couldn't find me. Called the police. I was missing.
You were drunk as fuck.
In the closet, shit, puked. I never drank wine again until about fucking 8 years ago. I would smell it and it'd still get sick.
You get sick, huh? Your brain remember.
She would tell me all the time, you'll never like wine because you got so hammered that time. We called the cops. We did everything. They couldn't fucking find you.
Alberto, what's your martial arts background?
I started with boxing, regular boxing. Then I found that time was like 82. Big things in Italy was full contact karate. I remember all those big names, Benny the Jet.
Benny the Jet Arquides. He's from right out here, man. He's North Hollywood.
He's from here, yeah.
I used to train in his gym when I first came here, when I first came to California.
Jerry Blank, right?
Yeah.
Jerry Blank was down in at the Palisade, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All those guys were.
Yeah. Super Blinky Food. Rodriguez, he was out here as well. He's Benny's brother-in-law.
That's I started for that, and then Muay Thai came, and I fell in love with Muay Thai, and I fell in love. That was my big things.
Boy, that Muay Thai fucking changed everybody's eyes. As soon as you realize how hard it is to get kicked in the legs.
Right?
You went, oh wait, what?
Yeah, and I was like everybody, never try. The first time I went to say, okay, it's gonna be nothing different. It's like being a roundhouse kick in the legs. And they hit me hard. I remember I couldn't walk for a couple of days.
Shins, man.
And then I fell in love. So like Muay Thai, started to compete in Muay Thai.
Yeah, karate style with the shin, where the instep rather, when you're kicking with the top of the foot. Everybody had this idea like that was the way to do it. And then the moment you get kicked with a shin, you go, oh,
different music.
All right, that's.
And I got a lot of injury for kicking on the instep.
Oh yeah.
On my ankle was.
Yeah, you get ankles get devastated.
Couldn't run, so I need to recondition it on my foot, like we discussed in the beginning, right? So it's a shin kick change. And then during the past, for the security, I start to investigate different style. And the guy that changed my way to see things, transferred not to competition but to my line of duty, was a guy in Israel. But it's because he's been into 4 war. It's a real man. It's like become like a second father for me. But he always told me, he's the spirit. I don't care the way that you punch, the way you kick, and until your mindset is not on point. It's not gonna be. You're not gonna be ready to do something for real. It's so that they can tell you, do karate, do jiu-jitsu, do that. But if your mindset, real things, when you go to war, you do. You need to apply these things for real. It's changing.
I think he's right, but he's also not right. Because I think he's right in the sense that your mindset must be correct in order for you to apply any sort of martial arts in actual competition.
Absolutely.
But it's always important to have the right technique.
Oh, yeah, no. Maybe I'm saying. He was working already on. He never believed in the Krav Maga. He's an Israeli guy. Mm-hmm. He introduced the jiu-jitsu a lot. Introduced the jiu-jitsu, introduced the BJJ in his system, and introduced a lot of boxing and Muay Thai. So you need to have the full aspect of that. And then, of course, if you go if you were training all the special forces there, the Secret Service, you need to have the right guy to doing that. Some people that are not ready to be a warrior.
Right.
They can train like a warrior, but not a warrior. So it's
Yeah. I can only imagine, especially like Krav Maga in the United States. There's legit Krav Maga schools in the United States for sure. There's really good instruction. There's really good people, but there's also a lot of fucking horse shit. Just like with karate. Like there's a lot of mall karate where you go to these places and it might be fine for little kids. They're learning little martial arts, learning little discipline. They have goals. You know, I want to get my orange belt, and they get it, and they get excited, and it's good for them. It's good for their mind. But it's really critical when you're learning a martial art. One of the most important things is find a legitimate instructor.
Right.
It's the most important thing because relearning things is so hard. Back when I was teaching, when I taught someone if they didn't know anything, they came to me with no martial arts experience. It was so much easier than if someone came to me with bad martial arts experience. Because if you have if you took karate for a few years from some bozo and you did everything all wrong, I would have to reteach you. So when you would panic, if you would get nervous, you would go right back to that old way. Like as soon as someone puts pressure on you, you would go right back to the old shitty technique.
That's exactly what it's all about. What is the learning and the movement database is in your brain is the same position. So whatever you achieve or you put in the database is wrong. It's gonna, under stress, it's gonna repeat the same things.
That's for everything, man.
For everything.
Even for pool. Like there's certain techniques that people learn where they don't learn how to do pool correctly. You only playing billiards, you stand the wrong way and you get used to it. And when you're in a match and there's a lot on the line, you go right back to the old ways, even if you take lessons. Like it's so important that when you learn things in life, to learn them right the first time. That's why when you're growing up as a human being, I think it's been an issue with me. I think it's been an issue with you as well. When your childhood is kind of fucking crazy. Like you develop these ways of thinking and acting as a child that are very difficult to break as you get older and you get as an adult. It's like you have this foundation that's very faulty and you have to be cognizantly aware. You have to be consciously aware of that. Okay, this foundation is fucked up because I grew up with domestic violence and I grew up with, no dad. And so I have to make sure that I don't fall into these patterns that I had established in my head when I was 8, 9, and 10 and 11. As you're growing up as an adult, this is the way you're looking at life, and then you have to kind of restructure it. It's almost like you're starting over. But if you meet someone who has like a great father and a great mother, and they grow up and they have like a great fundamental balance, like those people used to always make me nervous when I was a kid. Because I was always like, God, like these, I don't even know anybody like that. Like I would feel like inferior to them. Like when I was around people that had like a good childhood, I would feel inferior.
I still do.
Do you?
Sure. I feel weird. If I have friends that I think about them now and I go, I want to really interview their parents. Like what did they do to get this kid to be such fucking, what was their recipe to get this child to be fucking a superhuman being? And I'm not talking about, Julius Erving's father or fucking GSP's dad. I'm talking about people who you meet in life that are really fair, that are really kind. I look at those people and I go, I wondered what their parents did with them, like to have that ability to want to help people and go out of their way, I always think about that shit, especially now as a parent. You're like, what is the fucking chemistry of love for them to understand? We were talking on the way up here when my mother died. It was the 70s. And let's face it, we were still spics in that New Jersey neighborhood. In Boston and those areas, you hear things. But I remember those Italian kids coming to my mom's wake, and they couldn't make eye contact with me. The same ones that would say spick or whatever, because I short-circuited them. I broke them. Because the number one word in Italy is mama.
Right.
That's it. When you're Italian, everything is mama. They would come to that wake, and I would short-circuit them because they never could think of that situation happening to them. And I'm still friends with those people today. And I always wondered why, who raised them, that they're super great people. And then you come here to a place like California, and you meet people and they have nice parents or whatever, but they're just the biggest scumbags in the fucking world. Do you follow?
Yeah.
That's what interests me in my life.
I always feel like those people, the parents probably weren't around that much.
Or
Like they might be really nice people, but they weren't around to really install the right ideals and values and morals in their system. You know, maybe the parents were off at fucking swinger parties or some shit.
I always look at that, you know, with even the kids I grew up with. Like I have a friend that his dad was little, but his mother was solid.
Right.
And
when you say his dad was a little, you mean gay?
I'll put a bullet in your fucking eyeball.
He'll put a bullet in your eyeball?
At lunch. You know, I mean, when I would hang out with him, people's parents would come to me and go, I wouldn't be going over there if I was you.
Really?
Did you see the article on his dad? Yeah.
Oh, he's a psycho?
No. He was
Crazy?
Just a street guy.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, today the kid is one of my best friends. Never had a problem, never had a law problem, no record, never ticket, married, children.
Well, you know, there's
school.
people that grow up with horrible environments and they come out amazing, and then their brothers and sisters are all in jail. It's weird how a person makes choices in their life that really establishes their entire life. And a lot of those choices, man, I hate to say it, but it could be luck. They could have made a lucky choice early on, and that lucky choice led them down a better road than someone who's made a poor choice. Like kids that get involved in the juvenile detention system when they're really young, boy, that fucks them up so hard.
The percentages are horrible. The percentages are horrible.
And the good friends can, you know, good people around you,
Yes.
and can tell you the right things, you know, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
When he's telling you the truth, and it sounds like a smack behind the head, but make you open your eyes, make you say, you know what,
Once you put a kid in one of those gladiator prisons, the percentages, it's like we were just talking about that movie that came out, Sleepers.
Yeah.
All 4 of them went away. 2 of them came out to become Westies. The other 2 came out to be decent. The percentages, it's 50%.
Yeah.
And that's on the conservative side.
Right,
It's
and
got
why-
to be higher. Once you get that first tattoo and smoke that first cigarette, all those things, your percentages go deeper and deeper.
Yep.
You know, once you get the tattoo knuckles that say "fuck," you're doomed. you know, Mike Tyson got the face tattoo at 40.
Yeah.
Everything had already, all the bad stuff out of his life had already come through. But if Mike Tyson would have came with that face tattoo at 18, you know, it's so weird, like how I saw it. I saw people on the bottom that today they're successful and the police records don't matter or nothing matters.
Yeah.
And then I saw other people who were like sneaky people, who now they're in trouble for tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always...
Yeah.
My mother was a big thing for me. Like you say, Mama is very important. My mother, she always told me, give more that you want to receive, give double, you know. And then it was a bit told me, you know, like be, you know, straight to people, you know, don't fool around yourself, so you're not gonna fool around people. And I believe that thing, you know.
Yeah. It also helps if you know people that work hard.
Right.
When I was a kid, my best friends had jobs. They worked hard. They were constantly working. They were always working.
At a young age?
Yeah, my friend Jimmy DiTilio and Jimmy Lawless. I'm still buddies with them to this day. But we were in high school. Those fucking guys always worked.
In high school?
Yeah, in high school.
Yeah, and work.
Always worked. Had construction jobs. Always worked. I had construction jobs too because my dad was architect. My stepdad always set me up with these construction crews and stuff. So I did these jobs that were, and so it gave me the understanding that you like if you've never worked hard and you don't know what the fuck hard work is, then all of a sudden you're 18 and then you're in college and then you got out of college and then you have to get a job. You have no real experience with actual difficult work. I just don't think you appreciate what it takes to get by. And growing up, seeing people that had a strong work ethic and realizing that wasn't something that I had, but maybe it was something that I need to consider as being like a very important skill, a very important trait. The ability to like just actually get shit done, to get up in the morning when your alarm clock goes off and go. You're uncomfortable. You want to stay in bed. It's cold out. You don't want to do it. That ability to just do it, just get up and do it. You know that old Nike fucking slogan, just do it?
Just do it.
It's one of the best fucking slogans of all time. You know how many people actually went out and worked out just because of that just do it? That might have been like the most effective ad campaign in the history of ad campaigns when it came to actually getting people to do things that are uncomfortable and something that actually made sense. Just do it. so important. It's so important. You just got to fucking get things done. And for so many people, like you were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, Joey, that book, The War of Art, where it talks about resistance. There's so many people that just fuck off. They fuck off and they don't get the things done that they need to get done, and that haunts them. We know it as comics. We know so many guys that don't write new material. They just don't. They just don't. They don't work. They don't work. You know why? Because when you have new material, man, sometimes it doesn't go well. Sometimes you bomb. Sometimes you go up and it's clunky. It's not ready. And when you do a special, like when you just released a special, you know what it's like. That material's dead now. And so now you have to write all new material, and you have a bunch of people that are coming to pay to see you.
Oh, my God, it's hell.
Oh, you're panicking.
It's hell.
And
I'm panicking.
the shows aren't always good. Yeah.
I panic every fucking week. Every week when I go on the road, I panic because I do not have a full 50 minutes that's new. I got a couple fucking minutes, and I'm trying out new shit constantly.
Constantly.
But
and it comes together, slowly but surely.
Together. But it's just like anything else. It's sticking with it. Right now I'm in a slump. So what do you do as a baseball player? Jamie, when you're in a slump, what do you do as a baseball player? You quit? No. You keep fucking hitting. And you keep striking out, and you keep fucking striking out, and you keep it together. You cannot lose it. IKA Tony Perez, 1976-75 against the Boston Red Sox. He went 0 for 17 in the series, and in Game 7 he hit the single that changed. They won the World Series, really. So he could have just said, I don't want to do it. I know I'm in a comedian slump. Well, not anymore now, but like in December and January, it was fucking heavy, Jack. But you just got to work yourself through it.
Yeah, there's no other way.
Just get yourself through it. It's the weirdest
thing. There's no other way.
There's no other way. You know what? And for me, I could lie to you and say, well, I'm not going to get on stage. I'm going to stay home and write for the next 3 months.
That's not good enough.
Wrong answer, Jack. That's not going to work.
It's not good enough.
You got to keep going to the well. Like, right now I have a problem. You know, last year, I have such a fear of being on my back in jiu-jitsu that it fucking made me, I will not quit. I will not quit. Because what happens if I'm with Joe, I'm with my family one day, and I get kicked in the stomach, and I'm on my back? Am I going to panic? So I cannot fucking quit. So I kept going back to jiu-jitsu. But the weird thing was I was doing it wrong. Even though I was putting in the mat time, I wasn't working on my breathing. I thought that by me going 3 times a week and doing what a fighter does, stay in that fighting 3 times a year, that my breathing would come together. Sure. It would come together, but in little... Not good delivery. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the time I'd put in for what I get back wasn't rewarding enough. Mm-hmm. Like, I would think of going, I
so you needed a different approach?
So, and then I started doing those little things with Alberto in the back when I get there, the breathing. You know what, man? I'm a big boy. You don't have to tell me dick. I know I got something wrong with the back of my head with that fear shit. And with the needles, and what did I do with the needles, dog? Mm-hmm. I could faint. I faint walking into a doctor's office. I could smell cotton. I can't smell shit. I could smell fucking cotton when I walk into a doctor's office. Yeah. I could smell that light.
Because it associates with fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Tremendous. When I walk into a doctor's office, my blood pressure is 190 over 160, dog. They look at me and go, how are you walking? I go, take a hike. Come back in 10 minutes. And once my doctor comes back and he starts talking to me, and we talk about Chicago and hot beef sandwiches, he goes, watch this. And it's 140 over 80.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I know. I lived through this. I lived through this.
It's all about, for me, when I train people, you know, I try to say, okay, you're doing 10 push-up, and if you come to the number 8, and you see that you start to struggle, that's it. Stop. I don't allow you to do a bad number 9, because I know number 9 is going to be a bad push-up, so a bad form. So what happens when you're going to be under stress? You're going to be repeating the bad form. So for me, it's the concept. I try to like remap you, like you said before when you were teaching, remap you in the way that you always try to achieve the best. So like you say, just do it. What I say, okay, you need to repeat the things until you never do it wrong. Don't do it right. You never do it wrong. Because do it right once, it can come from luckiness.
Right.
It's a lucky shot. I want you to learn how to do it right every single time. And that's when we can step forward to a next level.
Do you subscribe to that Pavel Tatsulini? You know, he's got that strong first
I love it.
ideology where you don't do to failure ever. Yeah, I do that now. That's
love
that's
it.
how I
What do you
do
mean
all my
don't do
work.
the
I don't lift to failure ever. Like say if I could do 10 reps of something, I do 5.
Good.
And then I wait like 10 minutes and then I do another 5. Then I'll wait 10 minutes, I'll do another 5. Then I'll wait 10 minutes, I'll do another 5. And the idea being that it's more important to do more workouts in the week with low repetition than it is to do a high repetition workout like, where that guy's like, come on, spot me, last one. That's not good. Your body's not designed to do that. Your body's not designed to be at failure ever. So what you're supposed to do is build yourself up. So you're doing these exercises, and he says that you should think of them as a skill, that strength is a skill. So each exercise you're doing, you don't want to be tired when you're doing a skill. You don't want to be completely exhausted when you're trying to pull back a bow and arrow or shoot a pool game or shoot a ball in pool. What you want to do is you want to have that cemented in your mind and what he calls greasing the groove. Like each time you do it perfect, you do it with perfect form, and you just do low repetitions with heavy weights.
Absolutely. Pavel and Strong First, I believe, is another amazing school.
Yes.
School of strength. And one of my coach of strength conditioning is from that. So,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing for myself, even because of those flight, my jet lag, my CNS, my nervous system is already.
Yeah.
What I do when I train, maybe every 4 weeks I try to do 1 or 2 reps at 95%. I never try to do a personal record. I always like to work like 85%, few reps. So even psychologically, I know that I can end at a good form at that level, never gonna stress out, And
for people who are interested in this, go to Pavel there's a lot of stuff online, but I think some of the best stuff online is him on the Tim Ferriss podcast. Really excellent stuff. And he's got his own books out there, and he's got books on tape, and he's got videos, and you can see a lot of his videos. But his method is so good. It's so smart, and it's made big differences with me. First of all, it's cut my injuries down radically. Because I would be doing these, 12, 15 repetitions with heavy weight and like barely getting the 13th one, and then the 14th, and then your form gets all fucking sloppy, your back's bending in a weird way, and it's terrible for you. It's terrible.
We've been taught like that.
Yes.
Just push, no pain, no gain. That was
horseshit. No, that's not how you. It's so dumb. But now, I'm lucky that I have weights at home, so I have kettlebells at home, so I can do it 4 days a week, 5 days a week, and I'll work out for an hour. I'll just go in there. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I start lifting. I'm done in an hour, and I'm not even exhausted. Not only am I not exhausted, I feel kind of pumped up and kind of charged. Right. But I'm not like, oh. Like I used to work out sometimes. Like back in the day, I would do lifts, and by the time the lift was over, I was lightheaded. My legs were shaking. I could barely walk.
You don't have any energy left to do things.
And then I would try to go to jiu-jitsu. Hilarious. I would just get mauled. I just couldn't do it. I know I'd be fucking wrecked for like 2 or 3 days. So I'd be really nervous to lift in the morning and then do jiu-jitsu at night because I would know that I was going to be operating at like 50% or 60%. I'd just get my ass kicked. But if you do kettlebells with low repetitions, even with heavy weight, you could do a real good workout, and then that night you could work jiu-jitsu and you could be 100%.
Now, what's this guy's name? Pavlov?
Pavel Tatsuli.
Oh, well, Pavel Tatsuli also... Tatsulini. He also wanted... Like, he wants you to finish the kettlebell workout energized.
Yes. Right.
He doesn't want you to finish it mort.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't want that at all, right? I read that about him.
That's his whole thing.
He wants you to finish there, ready to go take on the world. And I tell you, I called Joe, and I go, Joe, I got to talk to you. I go, you gave me the kettlebells. I love doing the cleans. I love doing the swings. But, I try to do 10 sets of 10, 12 swings in 10 minutes. And I would do that, and I'd achieve my goal, and I'd be very happy. But then I couldn't go to jiu-jitsu for 3 days.
Yeah.
So what the fuck did I do? I'm 53. What? But I would go, I did it. And then I'd do 5 sets of cleans with 2 35s, and then strength, then jump rope, and then try to do sit-ups. And then for 3 days, I'm dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm dog shit. And I called him up, and he goes, then dog, cut it in half. Right. And then I said, you know what? I'm only going to do my weights now on the road. When I go to a hotel now, every 2 weeks, I work every other week. I'll hit the dumbbells and do the elliptical. But when I'm in town, I'll just do the tack fit in the beginning, a little jiu-jitsu, and then I'll do a tack fit at the end. And you know what, man? I don't want to walk around hunched up when I'm 60.
Yeah.
I got a 4-year-old. I got to be around and be... I like that I could touch my toes. I like all this stuff. But one thing I noticed about TacFit, that there's a couple moves that they put in there. I don't know if you did it or somebody did it, that they're jiu-jitsu friendly.
Oh yeah.
Like
The movement. No, if you look at if you look even the kids rolling around when he's in his early stage, you go to some double S, they can transfer to a shin box or whatever. You can go into the rolling into the guards. So
You got to talk up to the mic.
Oh, sorry. So you can see movement is movement. So what my coach start to analyze those movements and try to get mechanical information about those movements. Yeah, but they apply very well on transition for some jiu-jitsu move.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that Alberto was blowing his mind. Say, if I get the guys to move better, it's gonna easy for me to pass the technique because they're
Of course, their body works
the bodies
better.
already know it.
One of the things that Eddie found is that guys who are break dancers excelled in jiu-jitsu. And there's a kid who fought this past weekend, Lando Venata. Lando Venata, Groovy Lando, who fought this past weekend. He fought David Tamer. Crazy fight. It was a co-main event. Lando has only been striking for 6 years, and he's phenomenal. But what happened was he started with a BMX background. He was a pro BMX racer, and was apparently like a national champion in BMX. And that pumping bike legs, just being able to like generate extreme speed off the line. He developed this explosive ability to use his legs, and so that having cross training, whether it's through TacFit or whether it's through yoga or whether it's through kettlebells or breakdancing or anything else.
Soccer for Aldo.
Oh yeah.
Soccer for all those Brazilian
sprinting, all that sprinting they do and all the kicking they do in soccer. Learning how to move your body. Like look at what's going on with Conor McGregor and that Ido Portal guy. Yeah. He's concentrating so much on movement. And movement is just a huge factor in his success because his ability to dictate, first of all, his ability to move in and out is better than almost anybody's. His ability to get out of the way and his ability to move in closely and move like a fucking snake.
Right.
Like he's on the outside and boom, he's in. And he's in before you know it. And these complicated, sort of tricky moves to try to time and follow. Very, very difficult guy to time. And a lot of that comes from constant application of all this movement theory and movement training. And the more you can move your body any way you want, the more you're going to be able to move your body any way you want in competition.
Absolutely. And, at the end of the day, like you say at the beginning, it's you can call it TACFI, SFG, Ido, as long as the coach is the coach in charge, he's really smart, he understands how to map you down. That's good.
Yeah, and then Nick Curson, we were talking about, what he's into is all plyometrics, man. He barely has these guys lifting weights. He's got guys jumping over hurdles and stuff and doing all these leaping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like he's all about movement and in a plyometric way, in an explosive way. And that's one of the reasons why he gets such great results out of his fighters, is because they develop this extraordinary ability to close the distance, extraordinary ability to get out of the way. The ability to move and then to stop what you're doing and then counter quickly. All that stuff is just so giant, man.
Now, how's this CrossFit fit into everything we're discussing right now? Because Studio City is the fucking capital of CrossFit. You can't go anywhere in Studio City without seeing 5 guys my age running down the street with a 50-pound plate over their head. And I'm sitting there going, something's not right here.
What do you think?
I can tell you what I think. I think CrossFit at the beginning has a brilliant idea. It was bringing back a lot of things that were disappearing, like Olympic weightlifting and gymnastics and stuff. So I think it was good. It started to ruin the things when the games came, when they become an official sport, and people they just get crazy. It's a competition, so they're just training with that goal. I need to beat that cup time. I need to beat that things, and they don't understand. It's going to kill you at that speed, at that timing. So it's going to be too much.
A lot of injuries, I hear.
Yeah, but it needs tendons, ligaments, and muscle need times to adapt. And if you're taking a weightlifter, he spend an entire life to do to learn that kind of movement perfectly. Never screw the movement. And how many reps he does in his competition? 1. He can't do that kind of athletic movement so fast, even if you reduce the weight, because you can control 1 or 2, 3 reps and then you might be
Yes.
using up. I was talking to Michael Lash. Michael Lash was one of the most successful CrossFit coach, especially here in Southern California. He used to have own a big CrossFit gym in Van Nuys. So, and he was telling me, Alberto, you know, he has more experience with me, of course, CrossFit, that was his business, told me, I believe that if you do it when you are 20 years old or something like this, into the 30, you can speed a little bit. Then if you are smart enough, you understand it, that then you need to slow down. If you train CrossFit without thinking, cap time, try to see online how much this guy did, so I want to beat this guy, and you just training smartly, you do your weightlifting, your rings,